15,000 feet below the Atlantic, we search for Hitler's greatest warship.
At this depth, sunlight hasn't reached in millions of years.
The Bismarck, Germany's most feared battleship. Sunk in 1941 with over 2,000 men aboard.
These depths are home to creatures rarely seen by man.
We climb toward the main deck, where the crew once stood. The deck where German sailors fought their final battle.
The German Kriegsmarine flag still watches over the wreck.
Now we enter the tomb, where 2,000 souls remain.
Inside the corridors where sailors once walked. The crew, still at their posts after 80 years.
Personal belongings, frozen in time. Each skeleton tells a story of the final moments.
The deep sea's most bizarre predators patrol these halls.
The sleeping quarters became their final resting place. Personal treasures preserved in the deep.
Even the ship's cook died at his station.
The ammunition storage, still sealed after decades.
Opening doors untouched since 1941.
Each shell stamped with Nazi weapons factory codes.
Legendary sea serpents of the deep ocean. Moving toward the command center, where officers directed the battle.
Climbing to where Captain Lindemann made his final stand.
The helm that once commanded Germany's greatest battleship.
The ship's log dissolved by decades of seawater.
The main artillery that fought the British Royal Navy.
The radio room where final distress signals were sent. Deep-sea sharks scavenge the wreck for food. Exploring the deck where anti-aircraft crews defended against British warplanes.
Anti-aircraft guns aimed at an enemy that never came at this depth.
Gunners died still manning their weapons.
Turret 2, scarred by direct hits from HMS Rodney.
British 15-inch shells tore through the armor. The gun crew entombed inside their turret.
Ancient six-gill sharks, unchanged for millions of years.
Evidence of the brutal final battle.
Moving toward the stern, where the ship broke apart as it sank.
The The force of sinking ripped the ship apart.
The engine room that once powered 150,000 horsepower.
Engineers trapped when the power failed. Instruments recording the moment of disaster. The Fangtooth, one of the deep sea's most terrifying hunters.
Descending deeper into the ship's lower decks.
Storage compartments where supplies were kept for the crew.
Opening sealed rooms for the first time in 8 decades.
Small arms stored for the crew of 2,200 men.
Officers' dress uniforms for ceremonial occasions that never came.
The Goblin Shark, a living fossil of the abyss. The medical bay where wounded sailors were treated.
Medical equipment from a different era.
Supplies rendered useless by decades underwater.
Approaching the stern where the ship's massive propellers once turned.
The propeller that drove the Bismarck at 30 knots.
Each propeller blade weighing several tons.
Giant deep-sea isopods, prehistoric scavengers of the ocean floor.
Torpedo damage that sealed the Bismarck's fate.
Returning to midship to explore the officer quarters.
An officer writing final letters home. Family photographs lost to time and seawater. An officer's dress uniform, waiting for ceremonies that never happened.
Officers' ceremonial weapons preserved in rust.
The Chimera, a ghost shark haunting the depths. The mess hall where sailors took their final meal.
The last meal served aboard the Bismarck.
Moving forward to the lower decks where sailors lived.
Final prayers in the moments before death. Personal belongings scattered when the ship capsized. The frilled shark, barely changed since the age of dinosaurs.
Secondary ammunition storage, holding thousands of rounds.
Ammunition manufactured for Hitler's war machine.
Sailors crushed when ammunition racks collapsed during thinking.
The forward torpedo room with weapons never fired.
Ascending back toward the main deck level.
Giant squid, the true monsters of the deep ocean.
Optical rangefinders that once targeted enemy ships.
The main battery guns silent after 80 years. British warships pounded the Bismarck with hundreds of shells. The German war ensign flew here during the final battle.
The Bismarck took over 300 direct hits before sinking.
The ship's bell from the Bismarck's launch in 1939. The barrel eye, one of the ocean's strangest creatures.
Leaving the Bismarck and its 2,000 souls to rest in peace.
The legendary Bismarck, forever entombed 15,000 feet beneath the Atlantic.
A final salute to the sailors who never came home.
The Bismarck remains, a monument to the tragedy of war.